Boy, did I have some fun today. I went over to the Sarasota Shell Club annual show at Robarts Arena over off of Fruitville Road in Sarasota. And there's all kinds of shells for sale, all kinds of cool crafty stuff done with shells for sale, scientific exhibits, amazing artistry, just blow your mind stuff. So you want to come take a look? Let's go have some fun. We are live today at the Sarasota Shell Club show, taking a look at some of the goodies that are in the bins. Let's have a look at some of the goodies you could bring home. Shells and shells and more shells, and it is like heaven in here. You can get some good prices on some bulk stuff. Club table's got a few books for sale. I picked up a few already myself. There's some really amazing exhibits in here too, and I'm going to show you my favorite one in just a second. It's over here on the corner of this table. It's called From the Chippewa Formation Gastropods. So what you're going to see is some cool fossils from shells. Before that, it's awesome. And this is one of the scientific exhibits that we see here at the Shell Show, and this one is specifically on the Chippewa Formation for Calhoun County, Florida. And you will see some of the fossils that you can find here. And I have a few of these fairy shells in my collection, actually. So a couple of those guys. Definitely have some of those guys and those guys. How fun is this? In this exhibit, we actually some of the formations that the area is known for. This tells you a little bit about Southwest Florida in particular. You will find things on this coast near the Tampa area from the Pleistocene, Holocene, Pliocene, and Miocene. If you want the Eocene or Oligocene, you have to go in upstate to get that kind of stuff. But it's pretty awesome what all you can find in some of these formations. This will show you that shells didn't just start a minute ago. They've been around for millions of years. Oh, there's some of those guys. Ooh, yeah, some of those. How cool. Here we have some of the artistic exhibits done by the members. Really cool, creative stuff here. Give you an idea of a few of these things. Wow. That's spectacular. And oh, if you love lion's paws, that is a lion's paw made out of lion's paws. How awesome is that? We got the Sailor Valentines. Oh, isn't that cute? Oh man, she is stunning. What? So beautiful. Oh, look at the little turkey. It's crazy. Here's my favorite though, the big light. That is amazing. So many imaginative, talented folks. Wow. which is so super cool. Look at that little cone in there. Pine crust jammy yammy. Apex Shell Club right in Sarasota. How awesome. These guys I love. The horrible vases and their lookalikes, just absolutely love those. And that is a really beautiful shell too. Amazing. Here's some of the things we commonly find on our beaches here. Alphabet cones, calico crabs, nutmegs, olives. The not so commonly found but very highly sought after Genonia, collector's dream shell for this area. Mugs, murexes, urchins, tulips, calicos, sand dollars, sea stars. And you can come find not just the exhibits, but things for sale here too. Shells for making crafts with, shells for collecting, shells from all over the world, shells just from Florida. This is pretty fun. So much creativity in here, so many cool things. Amazing artwork. So if you're in town this weekend, come down to the Sarasota Shell Club show. It's at Robarts Arena, right in Sarasota off of Fruitville Road. And you can come find all sorts of goodies that were made out of shells. And if you're in the market for shells to make things with, particularly if you like the Sailor's Valentines or things like that, there are a number of vendors here selling all different sorts of shells that you can make cool stuff out of. Have fun. Let's see you this weekend. Turn my camera on. My name's Mitch. Nice to meet you.
And I'm Audrey.
Very nice to meet you,
Audrey. I'm part of the
Audrey.
artisan group for the Sarasota Shell Club.
Outstanding.
And so we do many projects, as you have seen from our art area. And we're just doing some demonstrations on how to do some simple shells. And once you master this, you can go on to make bigger, pretty shells with multiple layers if you want.
Look how beautiful that is. Oh my gosh.
So there's two basic techniques. One is you can take a styrofoam ball and cut it in half if you want like a bigger dome type shape.
Got it.
And you can take any shell. This is just a little coquina shell that we find here in Sarasota.
Oh, I adore those.
And if you put hot glue on the end of it here, the heat from the hot glue will melt the styrofoam and you can push it right on in.
Oh, wow.
And so once these are in here, these are really sturdy. They, like, you can't even pull them off.
Awesome.
So that's one way, and then you can build up and go round and round and round. You can make the points go all one direction all the way around. We'll give you one look, or you can do one row with the little points going one direction and the other with going the opposite direction. It'll give you a different look.
Nice.
And there are some demonstrations up on the wall of all the different shells. Will look obviously completely different into the shells.
How cool.
If you want to do one that's singular and you want to put it on something, it's best to use a silicone mat because it pulls right off of there after it dries in a few minutes.
Right.
So if you're just going to do a simple one layer one, you just make a little puddle of glue. And I usually just let it sit for a few seconds first to kind of set a little bit. The shells look better, as I said, pointing in one direction. So I've kind of separated my shells. These all point this way, and these point all one way. And they do look better if you do it that way. And to start your base, whether you're going to start a big one or a small one, to use an odd number, like 3, 5, or 7. My understanding is that's because in nature, that's what our eyes are used to seeing, is odd number things. So it's best to do it that way. You can do them this way, you can do them backwards if you've got some shells with pretty colors.
Nice.
You can paint them, dye them, but all you're going to do is once it's set for just a few seconds here, you're just going to stick it in there
Oh, wow, it'll even hold the angle,
Yeah,
too.
and you can make it up, you can make it flat or down, and just overlap them a tiny bit. And it looks better if you have all the same size.
Cool.
And they all kind of go the same direction.
I'm going to come in just a little closer on that.
Yeah.
Just a little
So they kind of
closer.
all overlap. If you want them up higher while the glue is still wet, you can even sit and hold it for a few seconds. A lot of times in the center, I'll use other shells. You could use glass beads. You could use whatever you have in your crafting supplies. I'm just going to put a little shell here and just stick it right on in there. Then after this is dry for a minute or so, you can pick it right off.
Oh, neat.
Now, if you're going to do a bigger one, you would do like a big circle and put all of them. And then you would do a smaller circle, and you're going to make them overlap in between the other two,
Okay.
so that you get the center. And then you can go round and round and round and get one that ends up looking like this.
Oh, let's take a look at that.
So that takes a lot of work.
That looks like a couple of hours right there, at least.
Yeah, and it's done on a half of a styrofoam container.
Awesome.
So there's lots of different things. These are made out of garfish scales.
Garfish scales.
And these are
cool.
painted and made the poinsettias out of those too. And animals and all sorts of things that you can make.
Fun. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Really appreciate that.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. And we are sitting with Duane Kaufman from the Sarasota Shell Club. So just tell us a little bit about the Shell Club, how long it's been around, when it got started.
It started in 1963 by Jack and Helen Oberle.
Okay.
He was a military man, Second World War, collected shells as he moved around the world.
Right.
At one point during the war, he was wounded. Actually, they were starting to take him to the morgue, and he sat up and wondered where he was going because he wasn't dead. They moved to Sarasota, started the Shell Club, and the very next year had the first shell show,
Oh, wow.
1964. So,
Oh, boy. So, okay, so 64 to now, we're looking at 60 years.
60 years.
Yeah, geez, nice.
And in the beginning, of course, it was a small group. They met in people's homes,
Right.
often in the afternoon. It had 10, 15, 20 people most of the time. And in the early days were mostly what today we would consider scientific collectors.
Okay.
The artisans were a more recent part of the club that has grown faster than the science part now.
Awesome. And how many members do you guys have about?
Right now, about 107.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's pretty awesome. And where do you meet and how often?
We meet monthly from September through April.
Okay.
We meet at the Bee Ridge Presbyterian Church in Sarasota.
Bee Ridge Presbyterian Church in Sarasota. Okay.
It's the corner of McIntosh and Proctor.
McIntosh and Proctor. All right.
Meetings start on the second Thursday of each month, 7 o'clock in the evening.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me a few minutes, Mr. Duane. And I'm about to join up, so you'll be seeing me hopefully at the next one. Thank you. And for more information about the Sarasota Shell Club, here's their website, so you know what it looks like. Just Google Sarasota Shell Club. And thanks for joining us today. Bye.